Dear friends, I want to wish you a Shabbat Shalom. On this special Shabbat, we will be reading the Torah portion of Va'era. We will also be blessing the new month of Shvat, which Rosh Chodesh, the first day, is Monday, a month that is very special in Chabad, as on the 10th day of Shvat is when the Rebbe ascended to his leadership in the year 1951, 5711, and created a paradigm shift in the world and a leadership that the Jewish people have not seen since Moshe Rabbeinu. Today, as we know, over 110 countries have Chabad. There's no Jew who's more than a few miles from a Chabad house. And we do wish and pray for the Jews in Iran to be safe throughout the ordeal that's going on there, and evil should be crushed, and justice shall prevail. So in this week's Torah portion, which talks about the exodus of the Jewish people, or the precursor to the exodus, the plagues, and who is the one who was the main character in bringing about the downfall of Egypt and them sending the Jews out, is Moshe Rabbeinu. And Moshe did not go alone, as he was very humble and he felt he's not worthy, so Hashem gave him his brother Aaron, his older brother. And they went as a team, though each one had their specific duty and responsibility. Moshe carried the word of Hashem, spoke in the original language Hashem had given to him. Aaron translated it. He was a great orator, people's person, and tried to help the people understand what it was that was happening and what God was demanding. But when the Torah tells us in this week's portion about Moshe and Aaron, it gives us a little introduction. It tells us their background. They're not just two people that were chosen, but these are the great-grandchildren of Levi, Yaakov, Kahas, Amram, fifth generation from Yaakov. Their father, grandfather, great-grandfather, these were great Jews, great leaders. And the Torah tells us who Moshe v'Aaron, who Aaron v'Moshe. In these two verses that follow each other. One it says Moshe before Aaron, and one Aaron before Moshe, to tell us, our sages tell us and share, that they were both equal. By God, they were equal in their importance, but more importantly, to each other, they felt like equals. And each one actually looked up to the other one as being more important. They came with a tremendous sense of selflessness. Their total focus was the mission, not their glory, nothing about them. And as we know, that they had to convince Pharaoh, the anti-God leader, the one who was on top of the world, that God is real. They had to convince the Jewish people who already gave up on ever leaving Egypt, at least most of them, that God never abandoned them. And they did it with such commitment, devotion, dedication, and humility. Though they stood up to Pharaoh in a very firm way, but it was as representatives of God, not as this great person, Moshe or Aaron. Who Moshe of Aaron, who Aaron of Moshe. And from here we know that if you want to be a true leader, you want to be effective, you want to move mountains, you want to influence and win over your biggest enemies, it only comes through humility. Firmness because of what you represent, but humility of yourself. And that's the way you really make change. So all of us, we're living in a world that we have to stand very firm as Jews and clear what we stand for, who we stand for, what we believe, and the way things should be. But when we do it with humility, that firmness is not our own individual firmness, which is very fickle because it's just the human, which is subject to moods and moments. But it's a firmness that represents God, which is unchangeable, unbreakable, unmovable. I want to wish you all to have that humility with that firmness. Like Moshe and Aaron changed the trajectory of the world, you can change yours and many others around you, and maybe even for the Jewish people entirely. So we love you all. God bless you. Shabbat Shalom. Candlelighting time in Montreal, 4:21 p.m.